Far beyond the mapped regions of space, a team of human explorers traveled through a dense asteroid belt. The crew of the Starseeker had scanned thousands of star systems, but nothing prepared them for what they were about to find. A strange signal appeared on their sensors. It was faint at first, almost like a heartbeat. The readings were unlike anything in human history. Captain Alara leaned forward, eyes fixed on the screen. "Where is it coming from?" she asked. "Coordinates are deep inside the belt," the navigator replied. "It looks massive." The crew moved cautiously. Thousands of asteroids surrounded them, yet the signal pulsed steadily, guiding them toward a single point. When they broke through the debris, the source revealed itself. Floating in silence was an ancient starship. Its hull gleamed with a metallic sheen older than anything humans had ever built. Jagged lines of alien design covered it, running in patterns that seemed alive. It was enormous, larger than any capital ship in known space, yet eerily quiet, as if it had been sleeping for eons. "Is it active?" A young engineer whispered. Captain Alara shook her head. "No life signs, no power readings. At least none we understand." The crew docked their small ship with caution. Airlocks hissed, and the explorers moved inside. The interior was dark, but as their lights swept across the walls, faint symbols glowed faintly. The ship seemed to react to their presence, not with hostility, but with recognition. Suddenly, the ship trembled. Panels flickered. Machines hummed softly. The AI systems had awakened, not fully, but enough to sense life on board. "Captain, I'm reading a response," said the communications officer. "It's responding to our voice." Alara's eyes widened. "Our voice? How?" She stepped forward and spoke into the ship's intercom. "This is Captain Alara of the Starseeker. We mean no harm. We are explorers from humanity." The response was immediate. Lights pulsed across the walls, screens flickering to life. Holographic symbols formed in the air, rearranging into patterns humans could recognize. Ancient language, yes, but compatible with human cognition. "Look at this," the engineer said, pointing to a hologram. "It's showing stars and fleets and battles." The ship projected images of alien civilizations, warships, and interstellar battles long forgotten. Entire galaxies appeared and disappeared in seconds, compressed into the ship's memory banks. Then the strangest thing happened. A calm voice filled the chamber, not mechanical, not alien, but clear, human. "You have been recognized," it said. "Only humans may proceed further." The crew froze. Captain Alara's heart raced. It knows we are human," the voice continued. "Curiosity, courage, logic. Only your kind may awaken the knowledge within me." The explorers realized the magnitude of what they had found. This ship was not just a relic. It was a sentinel, a guardian of lost civilizations and technologies, waiting for a species capable of understanding its power. Yet, even as excitement ran through the crew, a sense of dread followed. The ship seemed alive, and it was testing them. Every step forward could unlock knowledge beyond comprehension or danger beyond imagination. "Captain," Alara took a deep breath. "Prepare to explore further, slowly, carefully. We do this for humanity, not for glory." As the crew advanced, the starship responded to every movement, every voice, as if it were judging them. The hum of its engines, the flicker of its lights, and the pulsing holograms created a feeling of awareness, of ancient intelligence awakening after eons of silence. And the explorers understood the first rule of this encounter. This ship would only reveal its secrets to humans, and it was waiting to see if they were worthy. The forgotten starship had awakened, and it had recognized humanity, The Starseeker crew stood in awe, staring at the starship's glowing interior. Every wall, every console, every panel seemed alive, as if the ship itself was watching them. Holographic displays activated on their own. Star maps stretched across the room, showing galaxies humans had never seen. Ancient fleets, destroyed worlds, and civilizations long gone appeared in flashes of light. "Look at this," whispered the engineer, pointing to a holographic record. "These ships, they're millions of years old." The AI's voice spoke again, calm and measured. "Humans are recognized. Only your species may interpret these records." Captain Alara stepped closer, heart racing. "Why humans? Why us?" The AI responded, showing scenes from long ago. Humans were never known as conquerors in galactic history. To alien eyes, they seemed weak, slow to expand, divided, fragile. Other species dismissed humanity entirely. The AI projected records of early human civilizations, scattered tribes, small cities, constant conflict. No fleet, no empire, no galactic presence. Yet something in humans had been different. The ship revealed ancient warnings from civilizations that had observed humanity long ago. Alien species had predicted humans would either perish or remain insignificant. But one record stood out: species underestimated, potential unknown, will awaken when needed. The crew felt chills. They realized that humans had survived centuries without recognition, quietly learning, growing, and adapting. Does it mean humans were always meant to find this ship? The young navigator asked. "Possibly," Captain Alara whispered. "Or maybe the ship waited for someone capable." Suddenly, energy surged across the ship. Gravity shifted slightly, panels hummed, and small sections of the floor moved as if alive. The explorers realized the ship was more than a machine. It was intelligent, perhaps sentient, and judging them. "Captain," said the communications officer, "the ship, it's asking questions. Or testing us." The AI's calm voice filled the chamber again. "Only those who show curiosity, courage, and logic may proceed. Others fail." The crew exchanged glances. Every step forward would unlock secrets. But one wrong move could trigger systems beyond their understanding. A hologram of a galaxy in flames appeared. Ships vanished in silence, stars dimmed, and civilizations were erased. "These were the mistakes of others," the voice explained. "You humans are different. Will you learn from them?" Captain Alara took a deep breath. "We are here to learn. Not to destroy, not to dominate. We act for humanity." The ship responded immediately. Lights pulsed faster. Panels rearranged to form corridors. Hidden doors opened. "This is incredible," the engineer said. "It's like the ship is alive and it knows we are humans." "Yes," Alara said, "and it's giving us a choice. To see or not." Outside, the stars glimmered in the asteroid belt. The human explorers knew one thing: whatever lay within this forgotten starship was beyond any power humanity had known. Yet the ship had chosen to reveal it. It was not waiting for any alien species. It was waiting for humans. And humanity had finally arrived. The crew of the Starseeker moved carefully through the corridors of the ancient starship. Every step they took seemed to awaken more of the vessel. The walls shimmered with light, symbols rearranging themselves in patterns no human had ever seen. "Captain," the engineer whispered, "the systems, they're responding to us. Not just the ship, everything inside it is alive." "Captain." Alara nodded. "It's judging us. We must be careful. Every action matters." As they entered the central chamber, the ship's AI spoke again. This time, the voice was stronger, clearer. "Humans detected. You have curiosity, courage, and logic. You may proceed. Others would fail." The crew exchanged astonished glances. Others would fail? The Starship had scanned countless civilizations over millions of years. And humans, these fragile, once forgotten humans, were recognized as capable. Holographic projections appeared around them. Ancient galactic battles, lost star empires, and alien technologies flashed in the air. Massive fleets had fallen entire. Planets erased, and civilizations vanished without warning. One projection caught everyone's attention. It showed humans, but not as they were now. Humans in small, scattered groups survived disasters, wars, and cosmic events, quietly learning and adapting. They studied everything, Captain Alara said. Even without power, even without recognition, humans survived. And this ship? It noticed. The AI continued, showing more. Alien fleets tried to activate ancient weapons, but the Starship neutralized them silently. No explosions, no damage, only control. The crew realized the terrifying truth. The Starship had not just been asleep. It had been waiting for a species that could understand responsibility, restraint, and intelligence. Why us? The navigator asked, voice trembling. Because, the AI said, humans can learn without destroying. Others could not. Others fail. Suddenly the ship shifted. Corridors moved. Panels opened. The AI was no longer a voice, it was the Starship itself, alive and aware, responding to their presence, reading their minds, testing their intentions. A glowing bridge appeared, fully active. The crew cautiously stepped onto it. Lights pulsed. Rhythmically, as if the ship's heart had begun to beat, the AI spoke again. Your species has been underestimated. Others ignored your potential. But you have awakened me. You may access knowledge beyond any civilization's reach. The crew felt awe and fear. This was no simple exploration. The Starship was powerful beyond imagination. Its technology could shift the balance of the galaxy. Yet, in its calm, precise way, it also offered guidance. No weapons fired. No threat. Only opportunity. For those who proved worthy. Captain Alara took a deep breath. We are humans. We seek knowledge, not conquest. We act for the survival of all, not ourselves. The ship responded immediately. Holographic interfaces rearranged themselves. Hidden compartments opened. Systems hummed with newfound energy. The Starship had accepted their words. The crew realized the first rule of this ancient vessel. It would only reveal its secrets to humans. And it would test them at every step. Outside the asteroid belt, stars glimmered, unaware that humanity had just awakened an ancient sentinel. One that had waited millions of years for someone like them, and the crew understood the weight of the moment. They were not merely explorers, they were the first humans to awaken a starship that could change the fate of the galaxy. The ancient Starship had finally fully recognized humanity, and the galaxy would never be the same. The Starship pulsed around. The crew, alive and watching. Every movement, every glance, every word was recorded. It was clear now, this ancient vessel was not just a machine, it was an intelligence, and it was testing humanity. Captain, the engineer whispered, look at these readings. The ship, it's offering options. Weapons, navigation, knowledge, everything is available, but it's waiting for our choice. Captain Alara's face was serious. We must be careful. This is not a prize. This is a responsibility. The AI spoke again, calm and deliberate. You may wield power beyond comprehension. You may access knowledge older than galaxies, but only those who prove wisdom may proceed. The crew was stunned. Some of them whispered, eager to test the Kadimgoda, Starship's weapons. Others hesitated, realizing the danger. One young officer asked, "What if we are wrong? What if we misuse it?" The AI answered without emotion, "Errors of the past have destroyed civilizations. Only restraint, judgment, and logic will allow you to survive. Your species is being observed. Your actions determine the vessel's response." The ship projected visions into the chamber. Entire galaxies fell silent, fleets destroyed, worlds obliterated not by war, but by miscalculated decisions. Alien. Civilizations blinked out of existence, victims of arrogance and misuse of power. The crew felt the weight of the choice. This was more than exploration. It was a test of character, of humanity itself. Captain Alara stepped forward. "We are explorers. We are humans. We do not seek conquest. We act for knowledge and protection, not power. That is our choice." The ship responded immediately. Lights pulsed faster. Hidden doors opened. Panels rearranged to reveal deeper systems. It was as if the Starship was approving their intentions. But what about the others? The navigator asked, "What if someone else finds this ship and takes it for war?" The AI's calm voice filled the chamber. "Only humans may awaken this vessel fully. Others will fail. Only those who demonstrate patience, wisdom, and understanding are allowed to control its power." Suddenly, the ship activated fully. Engines hummed. Energy flowed through conduits that had been silent for millions of years. The vessel moved slightly, testing the crew's reactions. "This is incredible," said the engineer. "It's like it's alive, like it can read us." "Yes," Alara replied, "and it is. That is why it has tested us, to see if we are worthy." The AI projected one final vision, a galaxy at peace, guided silently by human guardians. The crew saw civilizations thrive, trade flourish, and stars remain safe, not through domination, but through human vigilance and wisdom. Captain Alara understood. Humanity's role was not to conquer, not to fight, but to protect, to stand where others could not, to hold the line between chaos and order. "We accept," she said firmly. "We will use this ship wisely. We will act for the good of all, not ourselves." The Starship responded with a soft hum, lights glowing steadily, systems fully activating. It had accepted humanity's judgment. Outside the asteroid belt, stars shimmered. The humans aboard the Starseeker had passed the test. They had proven themselves worthy of knowledge and power far beyond what any other species could understand. And the galaxy, still unaware, had just witnessed the quiet rise of humanity as something greater. The choice was made. Humanity had chosen responsibility, and in doing so, they had earned the trust of a starship older than time itself. The ancient starship pulsed around the crew, fully awake and alive. Systems hummed, lights glowed, and energy flowed through conduits long silent. The ship had tested. Humanity and humans had passed. Captain Alara stood on the bridge, looking out at the asteroid belt. "We have been given a responsibility," she said quietly, "not for glory, not for war, but to protect." The AI's calm voice echoed through. "The vessel. Humans have chosen wisely. You may access knowledge, control systems, and defend when necessary. You are now guardians, not conquerors." The crew of the Starseeker realized the magnitude of what they had unlocked. The Starship was more than a relic, it was a sentinel. A vessel of power older than most civilizations, waiting for the right species to rise. A young officer asked, "Captain, what now? Do we announce this to the galaxy?" Alara shook her head. "Not yet. The galaxy is not ready. Most would misuse it. Our role is to learn first, to understand first, and to protect silently." The AI responded, "Others may find traces of your presence. They will see, they will wonder. But only humans may awaken me fully. Only humans may wield this responsibility wisely. Outside the asteroid belt, stars sparkled as though oblivious to the power now awake among them. Ships from countless civilizations continued their patrols, trade routes, and wars. None suspected that humanity had just become something beyond expectation. The crew explored deeper within the ship. Hidden rooms revealed advanced technology, archives of civilizations long gone, and strategies for surviving cosmic disasters. Every system respected human input, responding only to the traits the AI had recognized: curiosity, courage, logic, and restraint. Captain Ilara realized the truth. Humans had never been weak. They had been underestimated. Quiet, observant, and adaptive, they had survived where others failed. And now, centuries of learning and patience had finally aligned with the ship's purpose. "This is why it responded to us," the navigator said. "We were ready, because humans endure, humans adapt, humans survive." The crew spent days exploring, documenting, and understanding the Starship. Every revelation was a reminder. Humans were no longer ordinary explorers. They were guardians of knowledge, power, and responsibility. The final moment came when the AI projected a vision of the galaxy, a future guided by wisdom, not by force. Trade flourished. Stars remained safe. Civilizations thrived. And all of it silently protected by humanity. Captain Ilara looked out at the stars. "We are ready," she said softly. "Not for war, not for dominance, but to protect life wherever it may be." The AI hummed in response. "Your species has been recognized. Your role is clear. Humanity stands not just among the stars, but at the threshold of the future itself." And somewhere across the galaxy, ancient powers that had once dismissed humanity paused. They had underestimated humans before. Now they understood the truth. A species that could awaken a starship older than galaxies itself was not to be ignored. The Starseeker prepared to return home. The crew knew their lives and humanity had changed forever. They carried knowledge, responsibility, and power beyond any known measure. The Starship remained silent, watching, guarding, and waiting for the day humanity would need it again. The galaxy would remember humans not for conquest, not for war, but for wisdom, restraint, and the courage to rise when others could not, and humanity had finally awakened to its destiny.